can see, I'm at Knott's Berry Farm for the first time in 25 years, and I have a lot to do today. We have so many coasters to get to as well today. There are 9 roller coasters, and it's quite the collection. There's a big B&M invert behind me. As you know, I have more rides on these types of coasters than any other kind. So I'm hoping that this stacks up very well against the awesome B&Ms that I've ridden in the past. We have an Intamin Accelerator model. We have 2 Mock Rides coasters. We have a Zero Tivoli style coaster. And then, of course, there is a Schwarzkopf, but unfortunately, we will not be riding that one today. I'm still going to check on it, and that would be Montezuma's Revenge, reminiscent of Grease Lightning at Astroworld. But anyway, let's go through and see how this is. Okay, well, I am in. I am right under Silver Bullet, the B&M invert, and I believe that's the first coaster I'm going to ride. Now, while I was here about 25 years ago, I don't remember anything, so this really is all new to me. The only stuff I seem to remember outside of the park was that chicken restaurant, which is world famous, and their jams or jelly, which again, world famous, heard about it. Seen it in cans, like at the stores, or jars, I mean, but the rides here, no idea what any of these are like. So I'm very excited to get on everything. And I'm gonna tell you guys about the operations and how quickly they load trains and if they have weird locker policies and how many trains they're running per ride. Magic Mountain was great. This park, however, is more attended than Magic Mountain. This is the most attended Six Flags park in the entire mega chain. So I'm expecting great things, even though it is a Monday. They should have all rides operating at maximum capacity. Let's go on Silver Bullet.
Yep, scuttle. Wait, are you
Oh man, Silver Bullet is unbelievably smooth. Like that was very, very good. This is up there with Banshee for my favorite B&M. Montu is there as well. I actually enjoyed this more than Montu. I did not think that would be the case, but it starts with operations. Like, they are flying through trains. I'm really happy. 2 train ops, they are sending trains. They're not stacking very much. They did 31 dispatches in the last hour from what they were saying over the PA. And these corkscrews behind me, these are my favorite corkscrews I've ever experienced on a B&M. And it's because of how it flares out to the left and right. Like, you're banking hard to the left and you just go up into one towards the left. But then behind me, this element right here, you go up, so going to the left, but you're flaring to the right. And you almost come back down slightly, but as soon as it levels out, it just flips you into a rightward corkscrew. And those back to back, the left, followed by the flare, and then quickly to the right, down to the water to do that very intense helix at the end was amazing. Right over the water. Silver Bullet. Wow, I'm gonna have to come back and ride this a lot more. I rode on both trains, so I had A train, row 5, and then B train, row 1. Both were super smooth. The only part where I think my ears tapped the restraints once was coming out of the Cobra Roll. But we're gonna move on to our next roller coaster. Here is Sierra Sidewinder. It's a family Mock Rides spinning coaster. I believe it has a 30-minute posted wait time, but I really don't mind because I'm sure I will get to everything today and tomorrow. Crowds are starting to file in though. Sierra Sidewinder was my first Mock Rides family spinning coaster. I've done the extreme spinning coaster at Dollywood. That was Time Traveler. But this was really fun too. The spinning was not crazy at all. It felt more controlled. I don't think it was controlled though. But they didn't spin very much at all. And it was interesting going backwards up the lift hill because it felt just like X2. Of course, the ride is not like X2 at all. But that was very enjoyable. I'm definitely going to come back and do that later in the video. And I will say they did make me remove my sunglasses before I rode. That was something that never happened at Magic Mountain, or any time on this trip actually. So I'll be interested to know if they make me do that for the rest of the rides going forward. They did not ask me to do that on Silver Bullet, but those were my normal glasses. These are the sunglasses, which are a little looser. Gonna pop in the Grizzly Creek Lodge to see what they serve. I do see chicken tendies over there, so I am gonna see if they will work on the meal plan. But I do want to touch on a few things. One, these do not appear to be the hand-breaded chicken tenders. These are probably the from frozen ones. So I'm gonna anticipate they'll get like an 8 out of 10. Got the yellow mustard today. Here we go. Well, the tendies are no more, and they were rather basic, so I'm gonna give them an 8 out of 10. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bump it up to an 8.25 because the portions were very good. But now it's time to go back out there, ride some coasters. I don't know what area this is, but they've got cool water features and it looks like a cave down there. Really awesome. This is called Linus Launcher. It looks like a mini Tatsu. And it is a beautiful day here in the Los Angeles, Anaheim area. It's about 70 degrees right now. I mean, it's not even 2:15 yet, and it feels like the temperature is starting to drop. It's kind of unbelievable. So of course I'm rocking the Tormenta hoodie. Love spreading the word about the Texas theme parks over here in California. And I also connected to the Wi-Fi here, which is free, so we'll see how it is. Usually at Six Flags parks, it cuts out in 1 or 2 areas, but for the most part, it's very good. Good for TikTok Live, not YouTube Live, but I think that's a problem with YouTube and not the Wi-Fi itself. So here is our next coaster, Snoopy's Tender Paw Twister. It says the wait time is 30 minutes there, but I believe I am allowed to get on this, even though I don't have a child. I'm just a single adult. Man, we have a lot of Broncos fans here, and you know they're happy the Chiefs are missing the playoffs. Snoopy's Tender Paw Twister coaster might be a mouthful, but it is still a kiddie coaster. It's 2 helixes with a tire propelled launch in the middle. Very interesting. And you get to go around twice, so it's really 4 helixes. It has 11 cars on it, but the front one has Snoopy, so you can see right there. So no one sits in that front car. Overall, I mean, it's great for kids. It seemed like everyone was enjoying themselves on it. Adults have to sit on the outside because it turns hard to the right, pretty much the entire ride. So on to the next one. That was credit 233. I'm really impressed with how much greenery there is here. There are plants, trees, bodies of water, streams, all throughout the park. And the pathways are relatively narrow compared to Magic Mountain yesterday. It gives it a feel more like Disneyland. Like if you compare Disneyland to Disney World, you would say that Disneyland has a more homey feel. I'm making my way into the Fiesta Village, but you can see that there is work being done on Montezuma's Revenge. The next coaster credit for me is Jaguar, and it's in this big temple right here. Really awesome scenery. I have not seen the POV of this ever, I don't believe. And I don't think I've ever done a Tivoli model by Zirer, so this will be a very unique experience.
Tried to get Sean to go, but you got a nice sharp tooth right here, and so it just like.
Jaguar was a great experience. That was a fantastic family coaster. Some unique bits about it are, it has 2 lift hills and it almost doesn't need the second one at all. It's kind of funny, you fly up that if you're in the front, like more than halfway up that lift hill. It's right over here actually, right there. It's right up close to Montezuma's Revenge, so I got great views of the construction site, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But it has 15 cars per train, Jaguar does. Very long train. I rode in row 4, so I didn't get, whipped over any of the elements, but coming into the elements, yes, the turns were taken very fast in the front. And overall, it was pretty smooth. I think I'm gonna go on that a bunch more times while I'm at the park in this video. And there is side-by-side seating, but for adults, you can pretty much just sit in the middle of both seats. So I had plenty of leg room. I just sat crisscross applesauce. Very fun ride. This is what Mayan Mindbender at Astroworld should have always been. Oh well. Now for Montezuma's Revenge, I saw a lot of orange markings were on the ground. I don't know if they're planning on digging more and putting in extra footers, maybe for a transfer track. I don't know, but a lot of construction is going on. We only have, I think, 5 more credits left, including the 3 heaviest hitters in the park. So let's make our way to Accelerator. And here she is, Accelerator. I'm about to watch it launch right now and go up the top hat, and then I'll talk a little bit about it. Now, Accelerator is the actual model name for this Intamin style coaster, an Intamin Accelerator. This is the first one. It later became King Dakar and Top Thrill Dragster, and they built a lot more, but this one was built in 2002, which is weird because I might have been here right when the coaster was announced way back when. Of course, I was so young I don't remember it, but this goes 0 to 82 miles an hour in 2.3 seconds. Now, there is a bit of a debate between this and Stealth at Thorpe Park about which one is the fastest accelerating coasters, and some people say it's this, so I'm gonna get on it, and I guess I'm gonna compare it to the original Top Thrill Dragster. That is the most similar thing I've ridden compared to this. I never got on King Dakar, and I haven't been on Top Thrill 2. I think the craziest launch on a coaster that's still operating right now that I've been on is Mr. Freeze, maybe, at Six Flags Over Texas and St. Louis. Well, holy crap, that was the best launch I've experienced since OG Top Thrill Dragster in 2019. I need to do this as many times as possible while I'm here, after I get the other credits, of course. But oh my God, that was a crazy launch. I mean, you don't have time to process anything because of how fast you're accelerating. Proper name, happy that this still exists, hope they never remove it. Yeah, that's my favorite ride in the park so far. Accelerator, 0 to 82 miles an hour in 2.3 seconds. And it was a station wait. I only had to wait 5 minutes for it as it's gonna go behind me. And the view up there is really good. You can see all of Anaheim and Los Angeles and whatnot. Best views I've gotten on any ride so far. The station loading was a little interesting. It had gates for each car, not for each row, and each car sat 4 people. So there were some empty rows because people didn't realize that you're loading 2 rows at once from 1 gate. But anyway, that launch was amazing. Top hat, awesome. And then you have the rest of the ride, and it's so easy to keep your hands up and It's smooth, it's everything you want from a standout attraction, and they have it here. I did not end up buying anything at Magic Mountain because I didn't see too much stuff regarding merch for my favorite coasters there, but here, Accelerator might be my favorite coaster, and they have some stuff here that has cool designs on the back and whatnot, so I'll consider it. There's a hoodie there and then a t-shirt over here that looks like this. Got all the stats and everything, so I will consider this. I might come back later. So next up is Coast Rider, and it is a Mock Rides Wild Mouse built in 2013. Don't know if I've been on any other Mock Rides Wild Mouse, but I probably have. I don't know. Well, let's get on it. Oh, and before that, I will say on Accelerator and on Jaguar, they did not let me ride with glasses on, whether they were my normal glasses or the sunglasses. No one can ride with hats or glasses. So let's see if that's the case on Coast Rider. This has been the theme all day. Every ride I've been on has had pretty much less than a 15-minute wait except Jaguar. And this one you can see actually does have more than a station wait, but they are running 6-7 different cars. Coast Rider was a lot of fun. I mean, I don't do Wild Mouse coasters all that often, and when I do, they usually spin, but this one doesn't. I really appreciate that. I think it's more fun. The last time I did a ride like this, Wild Mouse non-spinning, might have been at King's Dominion in 2021. Not sure, but it was really forceful in the turns. It feels like you're just getting slung side to side, and the drops were great though. Overall, it was smooth. The brakes are really grabby, which is typical for a Wild Mouse, but I'll probably do this again later in the video when it's sunny out again. HangTime is all about surfing. It is time to do HangTime behind me, and this is going to be my first ever Gerstlauer Infinity model coaster. I'm really excited. Because of this first drop, it is classified as a dive coaster, and I've only ever done the B&M variety of those. So this will be very interesting. This opened in 2018, is 150 feet tall and features 5 inversions. And when the sun goes down, it's gonna look beautiful. It's also a 96-degree drop, and it holds you for about 8 seconds. All right, let's go do HangTime. Oh my, again, what an incredible experience. I'm kind of speechless just like after Accelerator, but this thing really is a dive coaster, but think of it as if B&M put clamshell restraints on a dive coaster. I cannot believe what that would feel like, but I got kind of an idea because you are literally hanging right over the edge of your restraint that whole way down the first drop. Very crazy experience. And the second best part was this element right behind me. This double down, that second half of the double down, you are flying over the edge of your restraint. And I love all of the negative G's on this ride. I'm gonna have to do this many more times in this video, but you see right now, it is starting to be lit up because KCL Engineering has a special light package on this You also see it on another model Gerstlauer Infinity coaster in Iowa called Monster. This one really took my breath away. I'm still processing it. It had a few moments where there were kind of like sudden kinks or whatever in the track, I guess. But I would still say it's smooth, and a lot of that is owed to the restraint system. Very free, just a simple lap bar that comes down. And there's a seatbelt, so you might actually get some room on your lap bar going down that first drop. And going up this lift is pretty crazy too. You're looking straight up at the sky, and it almost feels like you're gonna slide backwards a little bit out of your seat. Cool feeling, very unique. This is gonna rank very, very highly on my list of coasters. Whenever it comes to rank it on the Hennisphere scale, I'm gonna be ranking at least 100 coasters this year. So I was walking by the Walter Knott Theater, turned right to look for one of those fuel rod things. As soon as I walked into here, it smelled like berries. And it's got all of these berry merchandise on the wall. They've got a soapbox racer car from back in the day. That's pretty interesting to see. But I did not find what I was looking for. Although, it smells great. And I have no idea what this line is for. There are a ton of people queued up for something, and I don't know what that is. Oh no, Fiesta Texas fanboys and fangirls are tight because of this. And by tight, I mean upset, because we don't have these. Okay, I figured out what that line was for. It's Snoopy's Night Before Christmas. There is an entrance right here. It goes around the bumper cars and then up the catwalk. Look at all the people waiting up there. So there's a second line for people with scooters and whatnot on the bottom level. The restrooms were very clean, and for obvious reasons, I can't show you anything in there. But I actually thought they were the cleanest I've seen on the trip so far. It was an interesting setup. They had the men's and women's sides, but a communal sink or hand washing area. And it was kind of cute. They put a little blue sticker like feathers at the bottom of every urinal so people could aim. That was kind of cute. Obviously, I can't show that. But the hand dryers were interesting because they were the Accelerator models. And I feel like they missed the perfect opportunity for a roller coaster placement right there. Accelerator, hello, that's in this park. I have made it to my next coaster, Pony Express. Pony Express is in fact a Zamperla moto coaster opened in 2008. And I believe I've done one of these, although it doesn't really come to mind where I was at when I did it, so I'll have to wait till after the ride. And don't worry, you'll see a lot more daytime footage of this as the video goes on. Just like that, Pony Express has been completed. There's 8 down, 1 to go. My 238th coaster credit, Pony Express. It may be a figure 8, but it is very fun. The restraints are rather interesting. I think those are the loudest restraints I've ever heard, because when you come back to the station and the restraint on your back goes down, it folds into the floor, basically, and a trap door kind of thing covers it up so that you can walk around the back of your horse before you get on it. But once that restraint comes up, it has to pop up out of the floor of the coaster, so a flap opens, and it's very loud when it crashes closed. But anyway, as for the ride experience, it's pretty smooth. I enjoyed it very much. I found that the positioning of where you put your knees can be a little uncomfortable, but if you can put your feet on the floor, that helps take the weight off of your knees, because the restraint system, obviously you sit on a horse, but your knees are kind of in, I don't know what you would call them, little cubbies basically. Then you have like a massage chair pushing against your back, holding you down, but not uncomfortable on your back at all. Quite fun. A lot of people put their hands up, and I will do that ride again and again once it is light outside. But I think I have met my match, unfortunately, with the phone charging situation, because I always use the fuel rods, and I found out they don't have those here. So this is the first park that I've seen ever that I've seen no fuel rods at. So, oh well, I'm just gonna have to take it easy for tonight. I gotta get through Ghost Rider next, and then we will come back for daytime. The interaction with Calico River Rapids was really cool also on Pony Express, but I think it is far too cold to be doing a water ride right now. The beautiful waterfall over here. It just passed 5:30 and I see snow is falling. It is beautiful out here. Oh, it's all the way down. How awesome. I'll walk down another block. They have even more snow machines going. And everybody is just taking it all in. Oh, wow. And the lights were synced with that. How awesome. Evidently, everyone was here waiting for the snow because now it is just packed trying to get anywhere. But this western area of the park, very well done. Christmas lights look good. I don't think I've seen a western area this big. And there is our final coaster of tonight. But remember, I am here for a full another day. It says it's a 60-minute wait. Wow. Now, Ghost Rider behind me is the most legendary credit here. It is a wooden coaster that was built in 1998 by CCI, Custom Coasters International, but it went through a refurbishment with Great Coasters International, GCI, and it got much better. And people say it's easily the best wooden coaster in the state of California. So I will compare it to Apocalypse the Ride. And I think it might rival best wooden coaster for me that I've ever been on. And we'll see about it. I think I'm going to have to ride it at least 5 times while I'm here at Knott's. The sign, though, it's rather interesting. It's kind of dim. I thought they would have some crazy bright sign, but if it has a 60-minute wait, which is 4 times longer than any wait on any coaster in the park, I guess they don't really need a sign at all. So I'm gonna go see if it really is a 60-minute wait and if it lives up to the hype. Well, Jumpin' Jehoshaphat, holy guacamole. That is a coaster, Ghost Rider, that lives up to every lofty expectation. That was easily the best ride of the night. It had everything that you could want in a wooden coaster minus like some crazy inversion or something. And I waited 40 minutes. It was posted at 60, so even though it wasn't the full wait time as advertised, by far the longest line in the park, and I see why. I'm really happy this has good ridership. It starts off with a little turnaround and then goes up the lift hill. Nothing crazy, but as soon as it drops, the first drop is great. It's nighttime right now, so I'm really lucky. I got a night ride, and it was a front row. I was row 1 for my first time, and I knew I was gonna glide over all of those hills and not be whipped over the backside of them. So lots of floater airtime. That is what stood out to me. There were 4 or 5 perfect hills of just floater airtime. Not quite like Mako at SeaWorld Orlando, but for a wooden coaster, this was unheard of, and the pacing otherworldly. I mean, they had brakes, a block brake section, and didn't slow down the train at all. It just kept hauling, and that second half had a ton of laterals, sustained laterals, not painful or anything, but just like you're turning to the right and it just keeps turning and it just keeps turning. And then it picks up speed and then you do a little dip into the brake run, still hauling. Can't believe it. I mean, that's up there for me for best wooden credit of all time with the Beast and the Boss, some of my favorites. Can't believe that. I'm gonna have to do this one again and again, and I'm gonna have to see how much a fast lane is because I would love to skip the 40-minute wait and just marathon it nonstop. But anyway, I think you can tell, I really enjoyed that. It's crazy to say it, but in the span of 5.5 hours, we have credit completion for all of Knott's. I had none of these credits coming into today, and now I have all 9 of them. So I just walked through that ghost town sign, and it actually brought me right back to the front of the park. So I have done one full lap today, and now it's time to eat something. I found something very special, guys, and I had to walk all the way back here next to the Walter Knott Theater just to have good lighting to show you this. This is a chicken and waffles tower. It has the chicken and waffles on top, in the middle mashed potatoes, and then it looks like a muffin bottom with maple syrup. I can't believe Knott's has done this. I'm not exaggerating when I say they have about 50 holiday menu items here. That is more menu items for an event than any place I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure that rivals Epcot, and I've never been to Epcot for any food or wine festival. This is unprecedented. Good job, Knott's Berry Farm. You are setting yourself apart from everyone else in the chain. I can't wait to try this. I have some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is that the chicken and waffle slider was excellent. Obviously, I love the chicken tendies on top, but breakfast is my favorite meal, so of course I love the Belgian waffles. The potatoes were great, and the bottom was cornbread, and cornbread is good too. I mean, everything about that was awesome. Maple syrup might have been the best part, but the bad news is I have gone this entire year of 2025 without paying for drinks at Six Flags, and unfortunately I caved and bought a bottle of water. I know, we were 2 weeks away from me getting to 2026 and buying a drink plan of some kind. But I went somewhere to get this that was a temporary location. They did not have any of the free cups of water, and I knew I needed water for the maple syrup, so bummer. Oh well, but the good news also is that this did use my discount for my Prestige Pass. The dining plan does not work yet until 2026, but I got $2 off. Now the park closes in roughly 45 minutes, so I'm just gonna make my way over to Ghost Rider, and even if it's a long line, I'll wait in it, and that will be my final ride of day one. But don't worry, day two is coming up, well, pretty much right now. Well, I got another ride on Ghost Rider, and it did take roughly 35-40 minutes again. Ridership for that is incredible. I love it. And I got back row this time, row 12. I loved it even more than the front row, so holy crap, I think this is potentially the best wooden coaster I've ever been on, and it is easily top 3. But I actually saw someone get off the ride and do the emote from Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. You know, the one where they jump up and go, well, they actually did it twice in the station. So it just shows you how good a ride is, and I'm gonna get into this a lot more as we get into the coaster rankings in 2026, but one true mark of a roller coaster, whether it's good or not, is if people get off and their first reaction is to yell and scream and say, I need to go again, and they actually do go again, that is a good ride. And sometimes you see it as soon as they hit the brake run, they start clapping, or they just have this look of shock, but a smile that they didn't have before it dispatched from the station. That's how you know, like, that is a good ride. They need to build more of those. The theme park is winning because people keep wanting to ride it. And when the line gets long enough, people will pay to skip the line. They'll pay just to skip that one line. They may not even ride anything else in the park. I saw more people using the fast lane system for Ghost Rider tonight than every other ride combined. It was insane. That is day one. Enjoy this on-ride photo from the back row, night ride on Ghost Rider. That was all for day one, and now
Day 2.
we're back for day 2 here at Knott's Berry Farm, and I did check the price at the front. It's $110 a day to get in, Monday through Friday right now. A little steep, but this place is worth it. It absolutely is. And I want to give a shout out to the Knott's Hotel because that's where I'm staying. It's less than a 10-minute walk from the security checkpoint. It is a beautiful room, and the staff is very friendly, and the whole hotel lobby with the Starbucks and restaurant and gift shop is very pretty. I really enjoy staying there. I got bed and breakfast. They deliver it to the hotel room at a specified time. Delicious. Just got my normal stuff. Here's a clip of that. I got toast, and in here I got your standard, I forget what they call it, 30 acres breakfast. Bacon, sausage, eggs, a lot of hash browns. You can see right there, you can see Ghost Rider. It's crazy. And of course, like I just showed you Ghost Rider, that's the first thing I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna make my way around the opposite side of the park first, and then probably get night rides on stuff that I got daytime rides on yesterday. But I'm also going to try 3 non-coasters today. So One of them's gonna be a 4D shooting dark ride. One of them's gonna be more of a mine train. That's not a coaster, but almost. And then another one might be an SNS drop tower. So let's get started in Ghost Town. Panning for gold. That means we have 49ers fans here. And it makes sense because we're in California. And I can't really say anything bad about that team because they're clearly going to make the playoffs. Although they're not winning their division. Seahawks and Rams are taking care of that. Speaking of Rams, a lot of Rams fans here around the LA area. You know, I'm gonna have to really consider this right now before I go any further. I might need a fast lane, and I think they're $119 today. So I need some time to think about it. Ghost Rider, unfortunately, is a 60-minute wait. I waited twice for 40 minutes last night. I'm gonna wait till the wait time goes down to ride it, but I might just pull the trigger on a fast lane. Who knows? Let's keep walking around though. Now there's one aspect of this park that reminds me so much of Silver Dollar City in Dollywood. Obviously, you have this frontier town feel like Disney, but they have the kiosks of people selling stuff, not just Peanuts merchandise or Cedar Fair style merchandise, but actual like knickknacks and novelty items, but also custom engraved things like these right here. All of these little Christmas trinkets are really cute, and they have a blacksmith as well and a glass blower. The blacksmith is right up here. You can see small items are $7, large are $18. They've got some keychains and stuff down there. They look like candy canes, actually. Key rings are $9. You can see it's hot in there. And in the stables area, they actually have live animals. Really, really cute. Some horses over there. Pretty horses. I think there's a donkey. Yeah, there's a donkey in the corner. The old buggy right there. Yep. Smells like stables too. All right, guys, I did get a fast lane on the app, the Six Flags app, and I'm gonna use the entrance right here to get on Pony Express, first ride of the day. So I should have known that that was a little too easy to get done on the phone, getting the fast lane. I mean, I got it sent in an email, and then it let me move it from the Six Flags app to the wallet app, and I went to scan it on Pony Express, and it said, nope, not working. So I've got to go to the general store, probably to get a wristband, because that's what everyone else has been using. I don't see people scanning their phones. So hopefully this works. And of course, yes, changed into my outer layer for the day because a lot of stations do not let you leave anything on the sides of the loading or unloading platform. It's been like that on most rides here. So I've got a brand new Disney Spirit jersey. Very happy with this.
A few moments later.
All right, that took a whopping like 1 minute. Here is my fast lane for today only. And hey, doesn't that Nutcracker look familiar? Got Six Flags stuff showing up in the park. I am just gonna go on Ghost Rider because I'm already here. Still showing a 60-minute wait. Well, there's no better way to start the day than your first ride being on Ghost Rider, and I'm quickly realizing that this probably is my favorite wooden credit of all time. The other two that come to mind are the Beast, Mystic Timbers, and the Boss at Six Flags St. Louis. But two of those have their own, uniqueness and roughness, the Boss and the Beast. Mystic Timbers, there's nothing wrong with that at all, and it's very comparable to Texas Stingray, I think. But this is taller, this is faster, this is longer. It has so many head choppers and so many airtime moments. It is start to finish, probably the best wooden coaster I've ever been on. So ready to call it right now. And there were two grandmas actually right behind me who were riding, and they were just kind of like, oh, it looks scary. And then they went on it and they were screaming the whole time. But like I said, at the end of day one, what makes a coaster great is when you get to the brake run and your first reaction is nothing but enjoyment and wanting to get back on it again. And that was the feeling that they had. So I'm in a much better mood now. The fast lane was worth it just to ride this because I skipped at least a 30-minute wait, and I'm gonna skip a 30-minute wait every single time I get on it today because I'm planning on riding it at least 4 times. But let's move on to some of the other rides in the park. And you may notice this pathway, elevated pathway winding around Knott's. It's because they have a stagecoach ride. And it's the only one that I've ever seen at a theme park, or at least a major theme park. I'm sure a lot of farms have it too, but this is so unique. Reminds me of the Wells Fargo logo. And yeah, we got some Broncos fans. I am making my way to the train station, which is a real steam locomotive, by the way. Disneyland has one too. But I'm also going to the Calico Mine Ride, one of my most anticipated rides here, probably after 3 of the major coasters. Number 4 is this mine train ride, which is not a coaster, but is very historic. I really wish you guys could smell this right now. It smells crazy, like oil and gas and steam. You can see this train has a lot of kinetic motion whenever it starts going, and they actually have the pathways open, but then they close them whenever the train crosses. They don't have the typical, ding, ding, ding gates. They have employees that have to open up these gates and close off the pathways, and it happens multiple times in the park. And I hear there's some storytelling that goes on this train as it goes through the park. I gotta get on this later. There is, in the background, the Calico Mine Ride. You see the little train there next to the big boy right here. They are closing the pathway. Now this beautiful Calico Mine Ride opened in 1960. It was actually the first major attraction here at Knott's Berry Farm, and it directly influenced dark rides at Disneyland, such as Pirates of the Caribbean. Right now they don't have a wait time posted, but I can see the line is almost back here to the entrance of the standby queue. I'm gonna follow the fast lane sign and see how long that wait time is.
These bubbling, boiling pots sure may look pretty, but many... That's the world-famous Calico Mine Glory Hole. Now we're heading over an underground lake at the mouth of this here river.
Well, the Calico mine ride was a great way to get out of the sun, and it did a couple of things I wasn't expecting. Like it had a lift hill, and it started to pick up some speed at the end through the explosions, and I didn't know that we could film on the ride, so very happy that I got to show you some of that. And the animatronics in there were great. There's a ton of them. There are some huge 3-story tall rooms with animatronics at each level, and the train goes through there multiple times. Very pretty. That scene with the stalagmites and stalactites that light up was very nice. It is super dark in there when you first start out because your eyes are used to the sun. Then you go in there, you can't see anything. Great little ride. Now this ride does look awesome, but unfortunately I already made the rule thanks to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. No water rides for the rest of the trip because I got more drenched than ever on a water ride. And it was at Disneyland. Splash Mountain never got me that wet, but Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I think they reprofiled some of the walls and whatnot so that the water just careened off the walls into the log. I don't know, but no water rides. They have a beautiful centerpiece here in the boardwalk area, right in front of a Johnny Rockets. My next ride is going to be Knott's Berry Tales Return to the Fair. I've got Fastlane. The boysenberry is going to be smelling great in here. And fun fact, at the Knott's Hotel, the shampoo and conditioner were both boysenberry flavored. And like I said yesterday, oh, they got him out today. It smells amazing in that gift shop. It smells like boysenberry. We are going up the stairs. Well, I just did Knott's Berry Tales Return to the Fair, and it was great. I will say 2 things about this ride that are very different is, one, it has a very long wait time. I used the fast lane, and it still took me 20 minutes. So I shudder to think of how long the line is via standby, but I understand why. It takes a long time to load. It's a limited capacity station. But the ride itself is very long. It's worth the wait, honestly. It's great to get out of the sun. It is a shooting dark ride with the 3D glasses, so they call it 4D. And it has a lot of good thematic elements. It has the screens, yes, but there's also stuff like physical sets around the screens. The cars rotate on their own, and there is a portion that's called a lightning cave where you actually do a couple of full rotations. It does keep track of your score very well. And when you're shooting at the screens with your boysenberry guns, you can see where the objects are landing on the screen. You can tell if you need to aim higher, lower, left, right, whatever. And my score was 80,800, which was best of any seat on that car or that train. But for the day, it looked like people were getting 200-something thousand points. No idea how they did that. But I think it's time to eat and then see a show. And the show that I want to see, I mentioned it last night, is here in the Walter Knott Theater. Snoopy's Night Before Christmas, I believe it's called, is packed. The people are wrapped all the way around the bumper cars, and then disability entrance is right here, all the way into the street. It starts in more than 45 minutes from now, and this is already the line to queue. I don't think I'm gonna make it. It looks jam-packed. And I forget if I showed all of the shows and entertainment last night, but you can see they have 11, and then they have somewhat of parade routes, or where the snow is falling, and then they have the individuals who are here just for their talents. There's a glass blower and a chainsaw carver. And you can see where most of the things are. There's one way over here in Fiesta Village, but wait until you see the 50+ food options for the holidays. They have literally everything you could want. I mean, there's different breads, there's funnel cakes, there's cookies, there's larger things like pizza. I had chicken and waffles. They have all kinds of drinks. And guess what? That's only one column. There's a whole nother column over here of stuff to get. All of these items are for the holidays, and there's a third column right here. I can't really put into words like how insane this is. All of these gingerbread cookies are sites where they are serving the special holiday menus, basically everywhere in the park. So I just did all of the counting for you. This park has more than 110 different holiday food and beverage options. Unheard of. Absolutely unreal. I have no idea what I want to try, but I need to pick one and just go get it and try to catch that Snoopy show. Okay, because there were so many things to choose from, I got 3 of them. I got a gingerbread man cookie, a normal chocolate chip cookie, not on the holiday menu, and then a Dubai chocolate bar. Very interesting. Cost twice as much as the other 2, but altogether this was $20. Cannot wait to try all 3 of these. We're gonna start with the gingerbread man. And this is lunch, by the way. I'm doing this with no drink. I can taste the ginger. That is very, very delicious. Sorry, buddy. I bit his leg off. Wow, that is probably the best gingerbread cookie I've ever had. It's gonna be hard to eat all this without water. Well, the gingerbread man is no more. Now, it's time to devour this cookie. That is a great chocolate chip cookie. Not crunchy at all. It's very, I don't know what the word is. Very soft, very soft. All right. Now we have this special Dubai chocolate bar. It has all of these flakes in it, and it's very cold. Feels like it's melting. It is melting. I'm gonna have to put some kind of napkin over it because it's gonna just coat my fingers in chocolate. Let's see how this is. It's got something in the middle. I don't really know what it is. It's flaky. Very interesting. Very rich chocolate. More chocolatey than the chocolate chip cookie. And very sweet. There's no way I can finish this. It's almost like the same consistency as Rice Krispies in the center, but like longer strands of it, not like the pebble shaped. Well, that Dubai chocolate bar defeated me. I could not finish it. I only got through half of it. And behind me is the restaurant I was actually trying to go to, Mrs. Murphy's Kitchen, because they had a buffalo chicken pizza, but it is only open on select days. So I learned something new. Not everything on that holiday menu is actually available every single day. But anyway, I got all the dessert stuff from In a Bakery right here, which is conveniently located right next to Ghost Rider. So I had my 4th ride on that right now. It was amazing. And once again, the reactions that everyone had getting off the ride were nothing short of bewilderment and amazement. They loved it. There was a mom and daughter sitting right behind me. It was their first time ever riding it. And they both loved it. They were screaming the whole time and they said that was awesome. And they want to do it again. But unfortunately, the line is all the way down the stairs for Ghost Rider. It is easily a 60-minute wait right now. So this fast lane, yeah, it is already paid for itself. I skipped probably 2 hours of wait today already. Now I am gonna go to the Pony Express area now because I never actually rode that this morning when I said I would. And I keep hearing those sound of the little court guns, you know, the little noise. Keep hearing that everywhere. And it reminds me that they used to sell those kinds of guns at Fiesta, Texas in the Roadrunner Express gift shop. And if they didn't sell those, then I'm thinking of a different type of toy gun, which was those cap guns where you had the little red tabs or whatever that you would break off and put on the locking mechanism. And then when you would pull the trigger, it would just bang, make that noise or whatever. They sold those in the gift shop and they don't anymore.
There we go. All right, get it up.
Pony Express was great. The only thing that's a little interesting are the restraints, as you can imagine. They look really funky going up and down. And I just noticed there's a part that rests on your shins or up towards your knee. That part, it's fine during the ride, but sitting there in the station, I kind of know like, okay, I could only do that ride once a day. But that's just me. Everyone's different. I have really long legs. But now it's time to do rides in the boardwalk. I'm gonna do HangTime again and gonna do Accelerator. And I might even do the drop tower that's over there. There it is. And I wanna give a shout out to 2 people I met yesterday waiting in line for HangTime, Che and Grace. You guys were very hospitable. They said they work for Southwest Airlines. That's what I flew coming here, and that's what I'll fly going back home to San Antonio. So thank you guys for the hospitality, and thanks for checking out my YouTube channel.
Welcome back, riders. Watch your
HangTime was just as good the second time around, and I really do think this is the type of layout that should require an over-the-shoulder harness. I'm really glad it doesn't, because your full body weight is hanging on this first drop on like your waistline. You're just like over the bar. It's a crazy feeling. I love it. I will say that this element right here, there is a big kink at the top of it. The whole train kind of shimmies one way going through that, but overall, I really like that ride, and I'm happy they considered it a dive coaster. Kind of feels like a dive coaster. And behind me, I'm not going to go on Coast Rider again today, but I wanted to say that the station, that loading platform, is probably the smallest I've ever seen. You come up to the top of the stairs, and there's maybe room for 8 people to squeeze in like sardines. That's it. That's it. That's all the room there is. It's crazy. And on Pony Express, by the way, there is a sign that says maximum capacity, 67 people.
Bruh.
Yes, I think I need more of Accelerator in my life. Fast lane it is. We'll see how much of a wait time I skip. It says 30 minutes. Forgot to mention that Accelerator is more than 200 feet tall, so it is a hypercoaster. Knott's has their hyper. But will they ever get a Giga? There's been some speculation about that, and if they do get a Giga, I think it's going to be something very compact, because they are landlocked and a lot of their rides are very compact, or rather short. Ghost Rider is the exception. So great ride, Accelerator. If you love launch coasters, you need to put this on your bucket list and get out here. I also just finished up with Jaguar, and if you notice on the app for Fastlane, that is not listed as having a Fastlane entrance, but I found one. So I went in and I skipped probably 25 minutes of waiting. Really like that ride a lot, but I will admit I only rode in rows 7 and I think rows 4. I would love to ride it in the very back because it's probably crazy. But right now, we got some barbecue from Fireman's Brigade here in Ghost Town. And it comes with 2 sides. So I got corn on the cob and a big bag of Lay's potato chips. This is more than 2 ounces. And yes, I caved and I bought a drink. Womp womp. The barbecue was excellent, but now I'm gonna show you something really unique, the gun shop. Well, they did have a lot of guns in there, but they had just as many knives. And then they had a bunch of Marine Corps things, which was very funny. And I even told the ladies, they're like, can I help you find something? I said, well, I see you have a lot of Marine Corps things, and I love that, because that's my branch. The tree has officially been lit, and over here at the big train, I am gonna make true on my promise to ride a third non-roller coaster in the park. So let's do that. And I forgot to mention earlier, there was a guy riding around on a tricycle playing a piano in the line for the Shooting Dark ride, Knott's Berry Tales. And he was doing really good. Like, he was taking requests and knocking out all the Peanuts songs, classics, made the line move a little faster actually. So the line is very short for the Calico Railway. It's just in here and to the right. They pack the cars full of people, so we might make it.
The Pioneer Way of the West.
Give me $5. How about y'all? You guys got anything? What you got? What is that? That is a weapon. I'm gonna let you keep that. That's very sharp. Stay away from me. Now, what about you guys? Which one of you? You bought that here? Oh, girl, you already been robbed there. Put your booger pickers away, buddy. Come on, man. What about you guys? Which one of you two has all the money, huh? How long y'all been together? Sorry? No, I heard y'all. I'm just sorry. She sold y'all, but you know. What about y'all? Anyone here got any money? What's in that there bag? Oh?
An apple pie.
An apple pie? Oh man, you can keep that. I'm allergic to pie. What about you guys? You guys got anything?
Somebody robbed
You already. I'll say someone already robbed you. You bought one of them drink cups. You paid $40 for soda.
Well, the train ride was great, very relaxing. It takes you around about half the park and then comes right back to the station. I believe the Fiesta Texas Railroad is longer and has more stops. This one only has one, but it is a real steam locomotive, and you gotta watch out for the robbers because those guys will hold you up. They're very funny, they're good at their scripts. It's a great way to get out of the sun as well, even though it's dark right now. After the train, I went and rode Silver Bullet twice, and I stand behind what I said in the earlier part of the video. One of the smoothest, if not the smoothest B&M invert I've ever rode, and that final corkscrew is so amazing because you get a pop of airtime as you rise up. You're turning to the left, but you're swinging out to the right, and then you flatten out and go into that rightward corkscrew. Love it. Rode in the very back row and then the very front row. Back row is the way to go. I love it. The park is in total darkness. I'm gonna get night rides on Jaguar and Accelerator and HangTime before going to Snoopy's A Night Before Christmas at 7:30. So here is the end of the line for Snoopy's Night Before Christmas. And again, it goes all the way around the bumper cars. And then you enter on the second floor over there. There's another line forming on the bottom level. And it is just before 7 o'clock. So 35 minutes until showtime. I did just finish up a back row ride on Jaguar, a front row ride on Accelerator, and a back row ride on HangTime. I'll tell you about those rides after the show.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the town, not a beagle was stirring, not one peep or a sound.
You would even say it close. All of the other reindeer. Instead of sheep, and I fall asleep.
And Mark Bernardo as Snoopy!
Snoopy's Night Before Christmas was an ice skating show. I had no idea before I saw a little blurb about it online right before the show started. But that was spectacular. That was very well done. It was a long show too. It really struck me. 35 minutes. That's like the Christmas Carol show at Fiesta, Texas, which is 40 minutes. And with that, 7:30 became 8:05 and the park closed. So I saw the snow on the way out and Ghost Town was incredible. And overall, the show was great. The theater was even better. The sound was great and that theater was huge. The seats very comfortable. Love that. And I do think I need to come back now for Knott's Scary Farm. I did go into a shop earlier in the day where they had 50% off some merchandise from Knott's Scary Farm. But speaking of merch, I did check more of the gift shops and I only found one thing in the gun shop that I was interested in buying, but by the time the show ended, park was closed and that shop was closed. So I'm now outside the park already looking at some of the gift shops here. It doesn't look like I'll buy anything, but that's okay because I got my Ghost Rider on-ride photo. I will keep that forever. And my thoughts on this park are that it's very worthy of being the highest attended Six Flags park. No, it is not very big, but the coasters are unique and very re-rideable. I find that the restraints have a lot to do with that because only one coaster out of the 9 here have over-the-shoulder restraints. For Magic Mountain, I think it's like 50-50. I know all the B&Ms have that. So really happy about my time here. I got all the credits and I got a lot of re-rides actually. This Fastlane wristband was well worth $109. Ghost Rider alone paid for it. But my roller coaster count, starting from least ridden to most ridden, the more kiddie coasters, Sierra Sidewinder and the Tender Paw Twister, 1 time each. Same with Coast Rider, 1 time, but Accelerator 3 times, including front row. Jaguar 3 times, including the back row. HangTime 3 times, including the back row. Absolutely unbelievable rides there. Love the front row on Accelerator. I knew it was going to be freezing cold because again, it's about sub 60 degrees here. And moving on to the most ridden credit, Pony Express was 2 times, by the way. We have Ghost Rider, which was 4 times. I wanted to get on it again after the show, but there's no more time left. I'll have to come back and ride it. But I do know if I have to make a top 5 list, I think the top 3 are the easiest to pick. And I'm going to go with number 3, Accelerator. Only thing holding it back in the ranking is it's very short, but it reminds me so much of Top Thrill Dragster, and that was my favorite launch ever. Number 2 is HangTime, an incredible Gerstlauer dive coaster, and it feels even crazier because it's just a lap bar. I mean, you feel like you're hanging over the restraint on that first drop, then you feel like you're sliding backwards out of your seat on the lift hill, and the inversions are so well done. I love that there's no mid-course, it's just nonstop. Number 1 is Ghost Rider. Probably the best wooden coaster I've ever done. I'll do a ranking at some point with like top 10 wooden coasters I've ever done, but everywhere on that train is incredible. I thought the back row was the best though. And overall, the ride ops here were really good. They didn't bother just checking seat belts and then coming back a second time to check lap bars. They did it all once. They were as quick as possible. They were rolling trains on rides like Silver Bullet. And I like the wardrobe as well. They're always dressed up in a different outfit depending on where you are in the park. Food selection was great, obviously. People are gonna say,
why didn't you go to the chicken dinner restaurant?
I know, it's like right behind me. I thought it was more appropriate to take in some of the festive offerings for the holidays since they have so many things, like 100+ things. So I had delicious barbecue and some really good treats. And now, I guess all that's left to say is my favorite thing that I heard was a ride operator who said, and this was said by kids at Fiesta Texas, and I couldn't quite make out the third part of it. But now I know the 4 parts. The ride operator says, as the train was dispatching on Ghost Rider, up high, down low, in heaven, 6-7, and the whole crowd went crazy.
Bruh.
I love it. Everyone's hopping on the 6-7 bandwagon. It's a favorite place for people to sit, and the ride operators also see it coming. When they load row 5, and then a group of 3 or 4 walks up, they're like, take 6-7, and the kids go crazy. I love it. I would say out of all the Cedar Fair parks I've been to, I do feel like this one might be the best run one. And I mean, that's head to head with Cedar Point. Of course, coaster lineup, Cedar Point is gonna have the edge, but the clientele here are very happy, and this place is year round. So it's up there as one of the best or second best Cedar Fair legacy side of the chain parks that I've ever been to. And in the grand scheme of things, I kind of would slot this ahead of Magic Mountain in terms of, again, the atmosphere here and the attention to detail everywhere you look. It's beautiful. The lights I thought were very tasteful. At Magic Mountain, there's like overloaded lights, especially in the Scream Punk district, and that's all you see are just lights, lights, lights. But here, it's white lights on trees, and then over the roads, like right in front of me, the lights are actually going over the main road here. Cars are driving right through here, through all the shops outside of the park. And yeah, this place is beautiful. I have to come back for Knott's Scary Farm to check that out, and more shows. So if you learned nothing in today's video, just remember these 3 things. No good deed goes unpunished. Subscribe to me on YouTube. And if you're feeling stuck in life, like our friends at Great Coasters International always say, push down, pull up. That was another day in the Hennisphere.